be few projects where this data annotation won't be possible, or it won't be there, and sometimes it won't be possible as well. So such kind of scenarios, how should we handle? Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about that. Without annotated data. So okay, so what does this mean is, like, actually you have bunch of data points, uh, like x1, x2, x3, so on. Okay, so you have all these features available. Maybe features or just you also have to extract features as well. So these are the features available. Okay, and you have few data points here. So and you don't have this y. Y y is not there with you. Okay, so so this part is not there. So how are we going to uh, use it? Okay, so in this case, like, we only have x1 to x100, but you don't have y. So if you don't have y, how will you define a loss function, and then how will you train and evaluate finally, and then get uh, like what will you do? Like, till now, which in the problems which we have discussed, like in the linear regression as well, like, you'll be using this y error equal to y actual minus y predicted, right? So and somehow squares, like so on, like it is depending on this y actual. Okay, so how are you going to do, like, what will we get from this? So let me talk about it. Okay, so before that, like, let this be slightly interactive now at this point. So what I'll give is, like, I will give you few numbers. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. Like, I gave you numbers. Okay, so I have given you 6 numbers. So classify them into 2 groups. I want you to split them into 2 groups. How will you do it? Give you matter, but okay, okay. So I have shuffled it if it looks like this. So instead, some can one of you like group these into tell, like, what can be, what it can be. So these
Something
are
like
different points.
less than 100 and greater than 100.
More than that. So you mean to say, like, 1 2 3 belongs to one group, and 100 101 right?
Yeah.
So this, without any, like, we did not give any target value, right? So here we are able to classify them into 2 groups just by looking at them, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we are able to do, right? So you're saying, like, if it is less than 100, it belongs to one group, and it is greater than 100, it belongs to one group. Okay, so I now I want it to be 3 groups. Okay, maybe something like this. One, I now I want it to be 3 groups. Okay, one, 10, 20, 30. So now can we make it 3 groups here? or maybe I don't even give this. Okay, so these are 8 numbers. So I'm not I'm not saying like it need not be equal as well. Like the groups need not be equal. Can we 3 groups? So same way like how you told, can we make
Yeah.
like something like this? One, 2, 3 is one group, and if
10,
you
20.
have 10, 20 in one more group, okay, and 100, 101, 102. So this has one group, this has one group, right? So just with the data, we are able to make it into different groups, right? Various groups. It need not be just classifying it into 2 groups. We can also do it in multiple groups, right? So it's all based on data. Similarly, like in these kind of problems, what you do is we only have X but not Y. So even in that case, what we'll be doing is we can group them based on uh, characteristics of our data into various groups. Okay, but we can't say like this is class 1, this is class 2 and all. Just that we can say that this is one cluster, this is one cluster, this is one more cluster or a group. Okay, so that we will be doing. So this thing is called like unsupervised learning. Okay, where there is no target pairs. Okay, so in this case, what we'll do is like we'll take data. Let me take data here, and let's say like this. So we can say that this is one group, this is one group, and this is one more group, right? So because like depending on same thing like how we have done here, this is also same thing. Like if you plot your data points and you see like a few points like concentrating at one point and a few more points like concentrating somewhere else. So instead of like triangles, let me give it with, then it won't be confusing. So okay. Okay, so instead of this, what we can do is let's write like all of them in single. Okay, so mean like in the same representation of data point. So I have few data points here, and we have few data points here. If you plot your data points, you found something like this. Okay, so if you can see, these can be easily made into 3 different groups, right? So that we'll be doing the same thing. So this is one group, this is one group. Say this is cluster 1, cluster 2, and this will be cluster 3. Okay, so this is what we'll be doing like through algorithm with the data. So that is called like unsupervised learning. Okay, so why is this useful, in how it can be useful? Okay, so mostly what we'll be doing is like unsupervised learning, like main use case would be, I think we have spoke about it like during our initial session. So where like I have told you regarding we have data, like it's one of my project like which I have done. So like there is data of like consumption from different electrical consumption from various customers. You want to identify the abnormal customers. Okay, so in that kind of scenario, what you have is all, maybe after you extract few features from your data, you have most of your consumers in one level. Okay, and you have few consumers at this level. Okay, so from this, what we also can identify is this says one different cluster and this says one different cluster. Okay, so this can be one use case, and then what we can do is observe few people here and see is it really abnormal. Then we can say that all these consumers can be abnormal consumers. Okay, this we don't have labeled data, right? We only have the consumption data for each point, like means x1, x2, x3. We have, there is no y, so it is not possible to get y because we don't have data of like who are actually uh, doing like abnormal consumption. Means like there is no data about like who have been caught like what you say is pilferage, like this, there is a word for doing this, like electrical theft is, we call it like pilferage. So there is no data for those guys who are doing this pilferage. So actually what we can do is only with the data we are trying to sort out like the people who are doing pilferage with who are not doing pilferage, by doing like keeping them in two different clusters and checking if verifying the cluster which has less number of people, and then seeing if they are doing any, if there is any abnormal patterns, then we can say that particular cluster can, and entire data points what are there inside can be uh, data of like pilferage customers. So okay, this can be possible. So this can be one example, and the other thing can be something like, okay, like let me go away from this example and let me talk about a fresh example. So let's say we have taken photos of few cars and few bikes, okay, and it was not annotated that this photo is car. Like I have some thousands of images in one drive, okay, in one folder, and I have asked to separate the bikes. Okay, it need not be that like label them. Is this a car? Is this a bike? Like that. You separate both. Like you make all the folders like files which are containing cars in one folder, and which were containing these bikes in one more folder. Okay, so that is our target. So what we should be doing is, only thing is like you extract some features out of your what you say, like out of your out of your image, and then like identify x1, x2, x3. So from this, then what you do is you do no, it won't, it really it doesn't require plotting, but for representation, for explanation point of view, you found that like a few of the features are lying in like one concentrated area, and some more features are lying in another place. So what you do is you group them all as one files, and like one type, and like group them as an one type, keep these in one folder, keep these in like second folder. Okay, so ideally like car and bike like will show different kind of features. So there will be difference between the feature values. So all your car may come in like one place and all bikes may come in another place. Okay, but this need not be always true, but this is one way of doing it. Okay, so some cases this may also happen, like your features are like that, such that if you take different kinds of feature, all red cars and red bikes will come in one position, and all green cars and green bikes will come in one position, all blue cars and blue bikes will come in one position, and it will be like three groups, it can form like three different groups. So this is also possible, right? So based on our own like features what we take, and its pattern, like it will automatically form into various clusters. So okay, so this is about unsupervised learning, like theory behind it. So let's go into one of type, like how we can address this problem through algorithm. Okay, manually now we can see visually that these things come into one picture and we have marked it, right? So but through algorithm we have to do this kind of clustering. Okay, because let us also see this. Okay, so these are, how many values are these are like two dimension, right? If it is x1 x2 we are able to plot it. If it is x1 x2 x3, maybe we'll do this 3D plot and then do the plotting. Maybe all these points will be in somewhere here and all these points will be somewhere here, and you do a cluster. Okay, so but if you have like x4 x5 those as well, then how are you going to plot and visually get it? That won't be possible, right? So it should be done through an algorithm. So because like it can address multi-dimension as well. So higher dimension, we are already addressing only 3 dimension here. So it can go for like higher dimension, like 5, 10. Okay, so let's see it. Like one of such example is K-mean. Okay, so actually is like it's quite simple. So initially what it will be doing. Oh, okay. How about now?
Yeah, now it's
Okay. Okay, fine. So if you see this k-means clustering, like how much more time is there in this meeting? Should we join the second meeting or do we have time? Upendra, you will be able to tell. Doing is like let's start. This is one such algorithm. We call it like k-means clustering. So like this is one popular algorithm where we can do unsupervised approach. Like using unsupervised approach, we can do clusters between the available data. Okay, so let's talk about it. For explanation purpose, I'll again draw this diagram. So, okay, so and you also have some graphs here. So this is purely based on data. Okay, so first thing what we'll be doing is like this k-means clustering. We take a random points. Okay, like in the sense we have to make these as one group and these as one group, right? So what we do is we take a kind of some randomly some data points. Okay, so ideally what it should be there is like it should be here. We need to find the cluster center here. So and then see that like the points nearby this center are in one group and points nearby this center is in one group. Okay, but ideally, and in case if there is third one, it will be one more here. Okay, so this is what we need to find. Okay, this is here, this is here. We need to find these clusters. This point, and these points like cluster centers. So initially, what we do is take random cluster centers. We can also take like 0, 0, but we need like few examples, right? Like first, maybe you can't visualize it, but your problem would say, right? Like in the previous example, if it is bike, we want to separate bikes and cars. Okay, so you can see from that example that you need two clusters. With like one cluster should be separated in one folder, and the other cluster will should be saved in another folder. So there, according to the problem definition, we have to like have two clusters, right? So first thing is, first and foremost thing, define how many clusters. Define number of clusters. So why do we need it is like your cluster centers will be like depending on number of clusters. You want it to be two clusters, Okay, so you have like two cluster centers. If you want like 3 clusters, you will have 3 cluster centers. Okay, so you're randomly then like let us say your cluster centers are 2. Okay, so for those 2 you randomly take 2 cluster centers, and then what you do is you compute.
Presentation is stopped, Rajesh.
Oh, okay. Hmm? Okay, Krishna, check with your Zoom, maybe like you do is from each of the cluster center, each of cluster center, calculate distance between to each point. Okay, so what we'll do is, so what we'll be doing is, so let us say these are the 2 cluster centers. Okay, and you have data points everywhere here. Okay, so from each of the point, you calculate distance, like these have how much these have, this distance, this distance, this distance. Similarly, oh, not this. For each you will calculate distance, and similarly you will do the same second test cluster. Okay. So if you calculate this distance, what you'll have is, you, like why is this needed actually? Because you want your cluster centers to be like of a same cluster, to be nearer that, right? Okay, just a moment. So centers here, if you see this, okay, so your cluster center, your data points are there, right? Your cluster center of cluster 1 should be nearer to cluster 1. All your data points within nearer to this cluster 1 are here. Okay, and we say call it like cluster 1. Similarly, all the cluster points which are nearer to cluster 2 are nearer to this cluster. All these data points, like what we do is like we assign to a nearest cluster, right? So and we make it like a cluster 1 and cluster 2 here. So but as we have taken initially, we have, what we did is we have taken cluster centers as randomly, chosen these randomly, right? So your cluster center may be somewhere here, and your data points can be here, right? Most of your data points are here, and second one as well. Okay, so this can be a chance, right? So in this case, like for us, like visually we know that like cluster center should be here, one cluster center, second cluster center should be here. So this we are able to find out. But if you see these randomly, but randomly when you get, you will be getting somewhere far, right? So you don't know, like there are chances that you may get like here as well, but there are also chances this way. So what you can do then, if you see the distance between this with, sorry, no, not with, so distance between, if you see this data point, this with this, and this with this. So you, if you assign a cluster, what will happen, you know, like your clusters, mostly all these clusters, so this is nearer to that, right? So all these will come into cluster 1, there is nothing in cluster 2. So this may also happen. So what we do is, it won't be a single iteration, so this will run in multiple iterations. Okay, so what we'll be doing is, so randomly initially, instead of random values, we can also take one of the data point here as a, so instead of an outer data point, so one of the data point which we have, so that can be taken as a cluster. That is one point. So it, then this kind of problem won't happen. So what we'll be doing is, so maybe we can't get an accurate one of these data points. Let me tell you this thing. So So maybe this randomly pick. Okay, so this is also possible, right? So then what will happen is like few of the data points here, maybe these will belong to one. Okay, even these will belong to one cluster, and something like this will belong to another cluster. Something like this would happen. Okay, so okay, so this here this belongs to this cluster. Okay, I just draw it like this, but one of these can happen, that maybe few points will belongs to one cluster here, and few more points will belong to one more cluster. So, and this way we can form two clusters, but this is not an ideal cluster, right? So we can have much better clusters, right? So if you see, you see like this, and initially randomly we have picked this and this as a cluster points. Then what will happen, your cluster will be something like this, and something like this as one more cluster. So but this is not an ideal cluster grouping, so right, we need to optimize it. So how we can do it is, we iterate that process multiple times. So before we iterate, what we do is, now we have got a cluster, right? So we have got some cluster this way. Okay, let it be anything. So we have got some points here, and similarly few more points in second cluster, right? So next point what we'll be doing is like we'll be again calculating the cluster center. So that cluster center will be average between these things. So okay, so what will be your cluster center is, we take all these values. So in cluster one, let's talk about cluster one. So we take average of the values. Each cluster and assign it as new cluster center. Okay, so it means what will happen is, here we calculate like take these data points, like we are thinking that these are cluster one, right? So you calculate average of all these, so it will come somewhere in middle. Okay, so this one like can be chosen as a new cluster center. Similarly, like for all these, you'll be getting somewhere here. Okay, so this one will be taken as new cluster center. Okay, so with that way, now a new cluster has formed. And next thing what we should do, like once you have a cluster, we have to again repeat this process. Okay, let me call it step, give numbering to these steps. Step 1, 2, 3.
I think the same concept is used in image processing as well, right?
Sorry. Yeah, it can be valid for anything. Like it need not be image processing. It need not be. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so it can be for applicable for anything, just that you need these data points, x1, x2, x3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, something like this. So you can make a cluster like points, right? If you have like maybe in 3-dimensional at this point, so you can have some points. Okay, so with these points you can calculate an average, if you can see. So just that x1, y1, you have x2, y2, similarly x3, y3, these are the 3 points. So you can calculate average for these, right? So it is similar to that, just that so just that we'll here what we'll do is, for all these things, okay, let's take this example only for these 2 points. If you want to take average, so what it will be, 10, 40. Okay, 10, 40, which is like 50 by 2, it is 25 comma 20 by this 70 by 2 is 35 comma like 50 and 60, which is like 55. So this will be our new center. In case if you have 2 points, if you want to take an average, this will be the average value. Okay. So similarly, okay, so let me have it. So that's how you'll be calculating the average. So mostly what will happen is, the idea is, if you take an average of all these points, it will be somewhere in middle, right? So that is what it happened. Even 10 and oops, here we have 10 and 40. Then we got 25, which is in between those two. Similarly, 20 and 50, we got 35, which is also in between. Similarly, 30 and 60, 50 and 60, we have something in middle. So our idea is to get it in middle and like let it be close to all, like almost like equidistant kind. So that is what we are trying to do. So what we do is we calculate the average of all those points and we'll assign it as a new cluster. Okay, so that is what we have done. And next what we'll do, 6th point is, so once you have this new cluster center, then we again calculate distance for each data point to cluster and assign new cluster. Okay, so these previous cluster 1, cluster 2 will vary now, like just that it will only be needed till you assign a new cluster center. So once cluster center is ready, so now this is your cluster center, this is your cluster center, these are the points what you have. Okay, similarly you have few more points here. So again what you do, you calculate this distance from let's say this point, okay, this one and this one, and similar, and then assign it like this is shorter, so it belongs to cluster 1. Similarly this one to this one, and you assign like this. So that same thing you'll be doing and assigning a group as cluster 1, group as cluster 2. So okay, so this will be doing, and next, and then again you'll be getting this as a new cluster 1, this as new cluster 2. So, and after this again it will be like, once you got new cluster, we can again do this, right? So this iterate, once you got a new cluster, what you do is again calculate average of data point and find out the new cluster center. Once you find out a new cluster center, what you can do is again repeat, calculate distance from each data point to each of the clusters and find out and form a new clusters. Okay, so this will go inside a loop. So let me put it inside. This will go inside a loop. Okay, so I'll put it in while loop. Okay, I less than 10 or 100. You can set a kind of a definition such that like this will continue for few iterations, or you can also keep a measure that like if the difference is very less, something like that, if your center is not changing, then you what you do is you stop it, you break it in middle. So such kind of things you can put, or you can define initially how many iterations max it can run. So and let it happen. Okay, this is one more thing. So by this way, what are we achieving finally is like your data which doesn't have any labels, we are making them into 2 different clusters. We are able to group an unknown like target variable, even though you don't have a target variable, we are able to make them into different clusters. Okay, this is the beauty about this k-means. So now we have successfully completed one of our unsupervised learning problem. So because of which we are able to do this similarly to this, right? So initially in one example we have told like 1 2 3 as one thing, like 10 20 like these are separate groups, right? Even if you take this, so what we ideally did is maybe the calculation happened in our mind, but what we ideally did here is we have let me take it and write it down. Okay, so in the same thing, like what we have 1 2 3 as one group, 100 101 102 as 102. So here if you plot it in a kind of a graph, okay, it won't be a 2-dimensional because it is a single dimension. So what we did is 1 2 3 Okay, somewhere for 100, 101, 102. So we have our clusters data points here, 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 here. So what we did, like we made this as one group, this as one group. So indirectly what we also have done is we have taken this 2 as our cluster center, and we have calculated distance from each. So this one, so and this 101 is a second cluster center, and I've seen like these two are nearer to this cluster center and these two are nearer to this cluster center, and we have formed this as one group and this as one group. So this calculation we have done inside our mind and we have added it. Okay, so that is how we have formed these groups. So is it not same as this claim is, right? So this is what has been done here, right? So in this case we are representing it in 2-dimensional. Still, like we try to form this as one group and this as one group, right? So even here we processing the calculation happened inside our mind, and we formed these as a separate groups. Okay, the same thing even for multi-dimensional, like the steps what we have taken here, this 1 2 3 4 6 steps what we have taken here, these will repeat. Like this is the same process which will be following for making it as clusters, right? The same thing in the same example which we have defined, even our brain has computed, like, but the same thing has happened here. Okay, so this is about k-means algorithm. But without this k-means, like, okay, but here there are numbers, then you did it like this. Okay, you can say that we did this distance calculation and all. So but you can see here we have not taken any computation based on numbers and distance, right? So but what we did here, there are like more densely populated at one point, and here there are more densely populated at one more point. That's how we made it groups, right? If you can see. So if I say that many data points concentrated at one point like this, and many data points concentrated at one more points like this, and few more at one more point. So here we did not take the distance mostly. Like if you see it visually, like how our brain thinks is like this, we made it one cluster, this we made it one cluster based on how densely it is populated at one region, right? So there are actually two various kinds. This is clustering based on density. But what we saw in k-means is here, what we saw here is distance based clustering. So there are these two different methods by which we can solve. Let me list down this: distance based clustering. Second one is density based clustering. So now we have seen this. Let's see about it tomorrow. Okay. So and then what we'll do is we'll do this implementation as well. This will be very easy, right? Like straightforward. Just that we have to calculate distance, only distance we need, and then what we need, just an average of each point, right? So it will be very simple. There is no gradient and all those things like loss calculation, do the gradient descent. So such kind of things are not there. It is quite simple here, and it will be getting like various clusters.